What's up, everyone? Welcome to another video. In this video, I will test and review the LAMTTO RC38 wireless CarPlay adapter and baby monitor camera. The wireless CarPlay adapter is awesome. It lets you connect wirelessly. No more cord. That's cool, but that's old news. The cool new feature is the baby monitor camera. You can watch kids, pets, or whatever's in the back seat on the screen. But I want to make it clear right now that this is only for vehicles that have CarPlay stock from the factory and require a cord. But I also want to make it clear that I received this for free to test and review, so let's check it out.
So here it is, brand new in the box. Let's get everything unpackaged and the contents laid out, then we'll check everything out. First up is the wireless CarPlay adapter. It's small and compact and it's cute. This is what allows CarPlay to work wirelessly. Wherever you have to plug the cord into the vehicle for CarPlay to work, unplug it. Plug in the adapter instead, and now CarPlay is wireless. And the nose lights up when it's on. The adapter has a USB-A connector, but there is a USB-A to USB-C adapter included if you have USB-C ports in your vehicle. So that takes care of the wireless CarPlay adapter, which is nice and easy. Now let's cover the camera. There's a mounting connector on the back, and a USB-C power port on the bottom because it needs power to function. And here's the power cord. The end that connects to the vehicle is USB-A, and there's a car charger adapter included if you need it. Then there are two mounting options for the camera, a headrest mount and a headrest pole mount. The objective is to mount it behind the headrest so you can look at the back seat, or on this headrest if the car seat is rear facing. For whichever mounting option is chosen, there's a ball on the mounting plate, which is secured into a socket on the back of the camera. Tighten the nut and the camera can be adjusted to point in different directions. For the headrest pole mount, the end is split with a rubber bushing inside to securely mount around the headrest pole, and there's a latch to secure it. So let's attach it to the headrest, and here it is with the camera installed. And the other mounting option is the headrest strap. The straps are elastic, and the ends have Velcro, so it'll stick to itself to attach. Thread the straps through the slots in the mount, and run one vertically around the headrest, and the other one horizontally around the headrest. And here it is mounted to the headrest, so let's attach the camera. Compared to the pole mount, this one is more bouncy, where the pole mount is rigid and secure. And looking at the front, you'll have all these straps on your headrest, but it's a good flexible option if you prefer it. And last, let's give it power. Connect the USB-C end to the bottom of the camera, and I don't need this adapter because I have USB-A ports down here. So we're all connected and ready to go. But circling back to the kit, the last item is an instruction manual, which is printed in color and it's pretty good. So let's fire it up. With everything plugged in, turn on the car and go to the CarPlay screen, and this is what it looks like. There's CarPlay for iPhones, Android Auto for Android phones, AirPlay, which is screen mirror for iPhones, Mirrorcast, which is screen mirror for Android, and the baby camera. And setup. So let's go through them. Opening CarPlay for the first time, you need to connect your phone with Bluetooth. This only needs to be done once for the first time. Then it'll automatically connect when you turn on the car in the future. And you're in CarPlay with your maps, music, phone calls, and everything else. I'm not doing a CarPlay tutorial. I've been using it and it works. Comparing the wireless adapter to the corded version side by side, the wireless adapter is a little bit slower to respond, but it does the job. I've been using it and it hasn't really bothered me. And press the home button to get back to the main screen. Next is Android Auto. Unfortunately, I don't have an Android, so I can't test it. But since CarPlay worked, I'll assume it works. Next is AirPlay, which is screen mirroring over Wi-Fi. When I try to use it, it says to disconnect from wireless CarPlay or Android Auto. So I disconnected, but it still gives the message and it doesn't work. So I completely turned off Bluetooth, and it still gives the message and doesn't work. So I unplugged it and plugged it back in, with Bluetooth off so it won't auto-connect, and now we're in business. And Screen Mirror works through Wi-Fi, so you'll need to connect to it through Wi-Fi. Then connect through the screen mirroring on your phone, and the car screen will show whatever's on your phone screen. It's pretty responsive, but there is a small lag, but that's just the nature of screen mirroring. Loading up an awesome looking YouTube video, here's how it's looking. The mirrored screen is a little behind and a little bit choppy, but that's been my experience on other devices as well. So to get to AirPlay, turning off Bluetooth didn't work. I needed to completely unplug the AirPlay adapter and plug it back in to get it to drop the CarPlay connection. And next is Mirrorcast, which is the Android screen mirror. Again, no Android, but I'll assume that works too. And now it's time for the main event, the camera. And this opens it in full screen. And it's all blurry and fuzzy. This product stinks. No, I'm just joking. I haven't removed the protective film yet from the lens. So let's get that removed so it can be viewed through a nice clear lens. And firing it back up, it looks great. The picture is bright, crisp, and clear. And there are controls to invert it vertically and horizontally to dial things in depending on how you've mounted the camera. So the full screen is great, but there are also options to use CarPlay and view the camera at the same time. So jumping into CarPlay, notice the little picture-in-picture view of the camera. According to the instructions, you can move it around, change the size, and zoom in and out. I've tried, but have not had success. I've only been able to move it around sometimes. It may be a sensitivity issue with my touchscreen. Maybe it'll work for you, but that's been my experience. But we have a few more options. Going into Setup and the Picture-in-Picture drop-down, another option is to close it. On this setting, you can use CarPlay normally without the camera if you want to, which is a useful option. And we have one more camera option. The third Picture-in-Picture option is Split Screen, which is pretty cool. And there's all of the precious little ones, nice and visible. And CarPlay is still fully functional. It's rearranged to fit on half the screen, but everything is there and it works good. And last, the instructions say it automatically switches to night vision mode in low light conditions, ensuring clear visibility of your baby's facial details, even in total darkness. So I put it in the garage and shut the door, and it's dark in here. You can't see anything in the back seat. So let's fire up the screen one more time and test the camera in darkness. And I apologize for the camera focus issues. It's struggling with no light. And with everything loaded up and the camera in focus, it looks great. It's crisp and clear, and there's clear visibility of the baby's facial details, even in total darkness, as advertised. So that was the last feature, but for the last test, let's take it on the road and see how the baby camera looks. I'll start with the headrest mount, which is a little bit floppy. So here it is. It's really nice overall. It does switch between night vision sometimes, even though it's the middle of the day right now, but that's because my back windows are heavily tinted. Rolling down the window took care of that. I did notice that it does kind of like a little blur effect sometimes, but that's because the camera can bounce around a little bit. And to be clear, the bouncing that you see is my camera, which I'm trying to hold steady on the infotainment screen. That is not the baby camera bouncing. I'm just talking about the little blur effect that happens sometimes. Now, let's switch over to the headrest post mount. I drove around quite a bit and did not notice any of that little blurring effect. It appears as though the more rigid mount eliminated that, but that's just nitpicking. Either way, the camera provides an excellent view.
And that gets us through it. It has some quirks, but the wireless adapter is nice and convenient if you don't like dealing with the cord. And the baby camera is awesome if you have a need for it. Anyways, I hope you found this helpful. Subscribe for more how-to interview videos. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. And last, I want to apologize about the sound quality. This is how it really sounds. It's summer, and there's bugs and stuff. It's loud out here. I did my best. I used background noise suppression on the mic, denoise in the editing software, and I did the best I could, and I know it sounds bad. And I'm sorry.